Alright, guys. Hello, hello, hello. I'm trying to change my category to Guild Wars 1 right now. So, just so that you all know, oh shit, I forgot to do an Aurene code giveaway, and I did say I was going to do some, so let's do one of those right now. Hopefully not everyone left. The reason I did the outro the way I did there is because that's going to go on YouTube, and I didn't want the YouTube video having a ton of stuff in it about, oh, there's this thing that happened, but it's all done already. I didn't want to, like, bog the video down. I wanted to, you know. So yeah, I'll give away an Aurene code. It will just be first come, first serve. I'm literally going to print it in chat, okay? So get ready. Everybody, alt-tab back over. In chat, in a second, there's going to be an Aurene code. And the first one to copy-paste it in-game gets it, okay? So the best way to do this is to be in-game already, all right? Get the Black Lion Trading Company up. Hit redeem code. And then redeem item code. You need to do both. And then you put the code in there, okay? So that's O for the Black Lion Trading Company. Redeem codes. Redeem item code. And then you're going to copy paste it into there. Okay, so you ready? I'll give people like a couple of minutes. All right, so basically, hopefully people are still here. The stream is going to go on. There's a big Guild Wars 1 event thing going on today with... to celebrate Bill Freest, the Guild Wars 1 dev, and they wanted some Guild Wars 1 streams going on. I don't really know what I'm going to do. I'll just go in and we'll have a look at the Shiver Peaks and stuff in Guild Wars 2. Okay, so everybody who just watched this IceBrood stuff, I'm going to explore the Shiver Peaks in Guild Wars 1 now, that same area of the world, and we'll have some fun with that. But, yeah, I just wanted to cut the previous stream, change the title. So it's not going to be an Eye of the North Let's Play, but it is going to be a thing. Here we go. My category, Guild Wars. There you go. Let's actually go into the Guild Wars category there. And I need a better title for this, really. Whatever. I guess that's fine. Yeah, we're not in Guild Wars 1 just yet. Okay, so here's the code. The code is coming in 3, 2, 1, go. And just to spice it up even more, here's another one. Okay, so have fun with that, guys. All right, now, yeah, so I want to load up Guild Wars 1. So let's go to an overlay here. I'm going to tweet again as well, just to let people know. Because I reckon we lost several hundred people there because they thought that the stream was actually over. So I'll try and notify them or whatever. I'm going to close out of Guild Wars altogether. Guild Wars 2, that is. Yeah, and by the way, I will respond. What did everyone think about... people who had messages for me during the thing? I'll respond now. Let's talk about it. What was it people wanted to talk about in chat? I can go really heavy with chat interaction now. So what was it? There you go. Someone won the second one. We will do more Aurene code giveaways. Oh, I've got to actually log in here as well. I've got to open KeyPass. I've got to do all kinds of stuff. Because Guild Wars 1 doesn't save your password like Guild Wars 2 does. Copy. GZ to those who won. You had no shot. Don't worry. There's still 5 more codes for me to give away. There's still 5 more to do. Okay. Who do we want to play in Guild Wars 1? Let's go on my assassin, I guess. I haven't played assassin for ages, so let's do that. Okay. So, it looks like my assassin is at the Dragon's Lair. I don't know why. I guess I was doing some glint lore or something at some point. Let's go in game, because we don't want to be on the master thing, really. Change Guild Wars 2 to Guild Wars 1. There you go. Alright, we're in game. And I think it should just all be set up. It should be sorted. It should be fine right now. I don't actually have any sound on yet just now, though. I'll max that out. You guys will have to tell me if the Guild Wars 1 audio is too loud or anything, because I haven't sound balanced this for a very long time on a stream. I actually can't remember. The last time we were streaming this was the Cantha streams, I think. So yeah, okay. Keep your questions rolling and stuff. I'm just going to do a quick /dance, and I'm going to throw a tweet out. I'm going to turn the lights on, because it got dark throughout that stream I just did. It got dark. And then what I'm also going to do is... just check out this message I got from Girl Wars and see what's actually going on. See if there's something, like some place I should be or something. I don't know how this event is working. So, yeah, just enjoy. I'll be literally just a couple of seconds. Alright, I'm back. Okay. Whoa. Ogden just cast Patient Spirit on me. Why do I have Ogden with me? Oh, I guess I'm draining health. Oh, man, that Patient Spirit. I remember that. Okay, so what I actually kind of want to do here is turn off my UI. Control-Shift-H. Control-Shift-H. Forgot about the old thing there. And then I want to... Sorry about all the spinning. It's just one of the hotkeys. I'm just recording a quick little scene here for my tweet. We're gonna Instagif this. So there you go. Now I'm gonna open Instagiffer, and we'll do a couple more. Oh, Instagif is already open. Nice, it is. Okay, so load video. Guild Wars 1. This video. Bump the frame size a little bit. And let's make a GIF, and then I'll throw a quick tweet out. And we'll do like a tour of this area of the world, I guess. Okay, so I tweet that. I'm sorry, everybody. I know you can't see what I'm doing on my other thing. Oh, no, that's the wrong GIF. Is that another one here? There we go. Tweet. Oh, it feels good now that I know how to tweet GIFs. It feels real good. Okay, could show where the next episode goes. Yeah, all right. Okay, so I'm here. So the question is, though, like, what do we do? What's going on with the community? Let me have a look here. What did Girl Wars say to me? Okay, she's live right now. Maybe I should have just hosted her. Does anyone know what she's doing? Look at the Guild Wars 1 section. There should be another streamer live on Guild Wars 1. Check donations. Did I get a donation? Okay, let's have a look. Shit. Where is it? I can never find the goddamn link. There it is. They're streaming and doing quizzes. So is it cool for me to do this, I guess? Oh, she's doing a giveaway and Bill is there. Bill's a dev. He dedicated his time to make it. Yeah, I know. And I know he's moved on. That's why I'm doing this. I get that. But, like, what are they doing as far as an actual event is concerned? Like, should I feel a bit weird just streaming me AFK. MMO Paypig Inks says, I really want Rylan to just be bad, not this, oh, he's confused. Ritlock's forced to kill his son, of which he had almost no connection to, and then Kree kills Ritlock all in the same moment. And Timey also random dies off screen. Epic, right? I can wait. It sounds a bit cheesy. and the Timey bit sounds, you know, even more epic than I could possibly have ever imagined. Alright, so Roy's streaming Guild Wars 1 GVG. Bill is not there. Okay. Alright, well, yeah, just so that you guys know, you know, Bill, he's a good guy. He did, like, a few updates for the game. He's moved on. They wanted to dedicate 12 hours of lots of Guild Wars 1 gameplay and activity specifically to him and to kind of reinvigorate the game mode. The game, or, you know, just make people feel good about him and learn about him. I think that's all really nice. So I thought I'd contribute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run from Boreal Station, and I'll give you guys a tour of everywhere in the far Shiver Peaks. We'll do a tour, okay? So we're going to go through the Ice Cliff Chasms. We're going to go to each outpost and read the lore. We're not going to get into the Verdant Cascades, but we will go up to the hole at the most north that Guild Wars has ever taken us. This is all places that is going to be explorable soon. And we'll end at Long Eyes Ledge, okay? So we're going to do that tour. Now, I'll play it with all heroes if you want, or I'll play it with you guys. So if anybody wants to play with me, come to the Burial Station now and join on the party. And every time we hit a new outpost, there'll be an opportunity for more of you guys to log in and play. I'll give you a little bit to log in and see. And we'll just see what happens from there, really. But yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll do a quick tour of the Northern Shiver Peaks. And then if we've got people still watching, I'll host their big thing. I don't know if you noticed this, but on Guild Chat, the first one, since they were redecorating, the background was just a curtain and a banner that wasn't fully in shot. So I wonder if that's covering up the new look and they'll reveal it. Yeah, it's pretty janky, the little room they're in at the moment. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but yeah. Just send me an invite and then I'll... Is this you guys? Make sure you have no heroes or henchmen with you. I guess I'll throw out an invite here. Okay, I'm going to reject that person, but send my own invite out. Oh, not trade. There you go. This is just so that I'm party leader, and I can accept more people in. And, you know, if we need some kind of support, then we can try. It would be nice to have some kind of support. What kind of build is this? Grent's Fingers. You move like a dwarf. I mean, we have the Jagged Strike, Fox Fangs, Death Blossom combo. That is the combo. The Flashing Blades is good. You move like a dwarf is good. I don't get the Grent's Fingers, though. Critical Agility is good. Recall's not great. Dagger Mastery, Crit Strikes. We're Wind Pres. Maybe there is a reason for that. All nearby ally... For 30 seconds, my attacks do cold damage. Why is it relevant that I do cold damage? Especially in the Shiver Peaks, I don't think that's very important. How many Eye of the North skills does this character have? This wasn't really a main of mine. Pain Invert is good against some of the icy elementals and things. Asuran Scan's epic. Actually, no, not Asuran Scan. What's the one that means we do big damage? I thought it was Asuran Scan, actually. Great Dwarf Weapon. Oh, since we've got all these players, someone give me Great Dwarf Weapon, please. Someone give me Great Dwarf Weapon. I'll be so happy if you put that on me. That'll make me so happy. I guess I can run... I mean, how many kills are we going to get? Do I even have Asuran Superiority? I guess I don't. What else might I like to use? Critical Eye. Good skill. We're never going to run out of energy like this. Mind you, if we want to cast You Move Like a Dwarf a lot. Okay, so I'm going to go Jagged Strike, Fox Fans, Death Blossom. We'll just roll through the combo. While maintaining Flashing Blades. Now, this is 10 energy and this is 10 energy. With these two passives, my energy should be okay, but sometimes it will dip. And instead of finishing the combo with the Death Blossom, I'll finish with a critical strike every now and then, which will just give us big energy. Probably make some sales to a merchant as we go forwards here. And do we have some gift here? Sorry, what do you mean? Oh, look, we got a monk. Nice. Yeah, Pain Inverter was good, but only in kind of specific areas where you get... Oh, I've got Red Rock Candy on me as well. I'll drink some of that, eat some of that. Probably not in the first map, because the first map doesn't actually have much fighting in it. I've got some vouchers, some golden eggs. I can't imagine the Rune of Restoration or Purity is worth much, so I'm just going to delete those. I'm going to make someone cringe, because I'm totally out of touch with the economy. Man, I need a lot more inventory space. Wait.
There is much to do.
Oh no, those are equipped items that I'm not untabbed on. That's fine. 2 more players. If 2 more people want to come, you're more than welcome. Yeah, an actual monk. We can go and have a look at him. Just give me a second to look at my Discord messages. Oh, do you know what I could do as well? I could export the stream from today. So let's do that. So one of the nice things is me exporting... Oh, but I need to connect to Wooden Potatoes 1 instead of Wooden Potatoes 2. So how do I do that? Channel settings. Permissions. Drops. Raids. Hosting. I just don't know this website. I don't know how this website works. Analytics. Videos. Settings. Roles, partner, moderation. It's none of those. Uploaded video. Drops. Just give me a second, guys. Let me work this out. It's going to be somewhere. Video producer. Can I connect to a different video? A different website? Different channel? Man, we got so many videos up at the moment. I guess that's what happens when you stream every day, right? There you go, we got another person. Let me rename this stream as well. Let's call this IceBrood Exploration Stream. I might actually double this up and make a YouTube video on this at some point later, by the way. So, oh, I should record this. Oh my god, this is like ultra efficient. If I record this locally while I'm doing it for a video later. Shit, how do I do this? Settings? Connections. Found it. YouTube. Disconnect YouTube. Connect to new YouTube. Connect this account. Wooden Potatoes 1, not Wooden Potatoes 2. Allow. Alright, we got space for 1 more in the party, by the way. 1 more. Video producer. IceBrood Saga, Bound by Blood, full playthrough, 4 hours, 7 minutes. Export privately to my main channel. Good, so now that'll cross over. Excellent. Okay. What map is this? This is the Burial Station, okay? So the story so far, we're not covering the Eye of the North story here. We're just covering the environment, all right? So don't worry about too much more. But the story so far is that earthquakes have started hitting various places. It's the earliest signs and movements of the destroyers, you know, and the awakening elder dragons. Primordus was the first, and before him, his destroyers got moving. The Great Destroyer got moving. And so they create these earthquakes, these enormous fissures erupt around the various cities of the world. Lion's Arch, Kaineng, near Kamadan. We dive into those holes based on where we're living at the time. You know, if you were an Alolan, you go into Kamadan. If you're a Canthan, you went into Kaineng. Or if you were an Ascalonian, now settled down towards Kryta, boom, you go into there. You find the dwarves down there. You find the destroyers. You flee, and you find this mysterious magical portal. And you're told by an Asura there, don't worry, this is a gate. My people live down here. We created these. You can teleport with them. And you're like, whoa, this seems really weird. You go into the gates. And whoop, 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 whoop. You come out here. You destroy the gate behind you because you don't want the destroyers following you. And this is it. This is the broken Asura gate that Vec and co demolished. And now we're in the far Shiver Peaks. And so that's why we're here. The Burial Station. The Norn still referred to Burial Station as Theodore's Hearthstead, even though Theodore is long gone. The Asura emerged from beneath this quiet hunter's home and appropriated it for their own needs, adding a node to their network of gates and transforming the stead into a supply way station. It is muttered among the Norn that old Theodore is alive somewhere deep beneath his home, lost in Asura lands, protesting the invasion with a hammer and a shield. Beautiful. I love the world building from Outpostings. So am I adding a support hero? I mean, I'll do it. Or one of you guys can. If you're really confident in a support hero build, make sure that you do it. By the way, you could ping each other your builds if you want, just to make sure not too many people are on the Great Dwarf Hammer or whatever. Yeah, and you basically get met to an iconic of each of the race. Jorah, Vec, Ogden. They're all there. There are obviously no Sylvari, but yeah. So this guy's build is here. He's got Great Dwarf Weapon. He's a Spirit Summoner. Okay, good. Oh, he's our monk as well. No, he's not our monk. Okay, so out we go. So, yeah, if you guys don't know... Well, I don't know. How do I link this to the bill thing? So, by the way, guys, the more of you, while you watch, so I just messaged Girl Wars, we'll see what comes of this. The more of you who watch right now, try and get in game. Try and actually get in game, because what would be kind of cool, I know we can only have 8 people in a party, but the more of you get in game, later we can actually swing by wherever they're hosting this event, whatever town or outpost it is, and we can say hi, and, you know, if we can dump a Zerg there, that'll feel pretty good. That'll feel pretty A-okay in my book. So that'd be quite nice. You remember when Guild Wars 1 got its graphics update? WP actually walled off of Grothmore? Oh, yeah. When the Charhome, where you looked out from Long Eyes Ledge and it looks really good, doesn't it? I mentioned that in a recent video as well. So, yeah, this is the shivers as far as Guild Wars 1's concerned, where we move a lot slower and we can't jump and stuff. So it feels very big, because the devs kind of don't have to make much of the distance stuff meaningful. So you just kind of travel. This early area doesn't really have any monsters to fight. There's just worms that pop up. This is where I used to chest farm. This exact area of the world makes me think of the band Alexis on Fire. Oh, I fucked up. Because I just listened to their shit, what do you call it? Their first album. I can't remember what it's called. Just on a loop for like, I'm not joking, like 600 hours or something fucking crazy. Just here, back and forwards, here, over and over and over. Let's drop the effects volumes. Just running chests. There's like a locked treasure chest that will spawn here in hard mode. I'd run over, use a lockpick. Maybe there'd be a second one if you got lucky, and then you just go back to Burial and come back. Okay, Girl Wars said that they're all in Lion's Arch. They would love to speak to me. There's a Guild Wars 2 here in voice chat. He was Bill's friend. Oh, was he really? Interesting. Oh, she can't hear me. And a touching story he might share with us. Alright, so I might get into voice chat with a bunch of people that I don't know. That'll be kind of weird, I guess. And it might be strange. We'll get some quality out of the stream beforehand. Show us how many you've opened. It should be exactly 10k. I doubt I opened a single one more after that. I've opened 10,072 for Grandmaster Treasure Hunter. It's weird. I'm actually in-game. I can show you stuff. Okay, it's an ArenaNet dev called Jonager. I can probably tell the story when the time is right. Yeah, I got Treasure Hunter before the... this is all before the Hall of Monuments, just so that everyone knows. Well, the Hall of Monuments was in the game, obviously. But the devs had not released the calculator. They hadn't told anyone, like, what it was exactly that you were going to take to Guild Wars 2. And I was just hoping... Fuck, we're attacking through quicksand, so we're losing energy. So I can't get the energy to use critical strike, so now I'm drained. I'm doing it. I'm making the mistake again. I hear some classic Guild Wars 1 combat music that you don't get to hear in Guild Wars 2. Quicksand, man. This is brutal. My energy's way lower than I expected. Maybe I should run a... What are they called? The energy gain weapons? I need to actually cancel cast my autos if I want to do this. We're getting enough crits, though, to maintain things. Got to break the spirit over here. When was Guild Wars 1 released? Okay, so its first release was April 2005, about 4 months after World of Warcraft. It came out. This came out in 2008? Was it 2008 or 2007? I think it was 2008. I think Nightfall was 2007, and then 2008 we had Eye of the North. So this is 2008. This is 11 years old, what you're looking at right now. But it had a slight graphics update last year where, you know, you get a better view distance and stuff, right? So this is the Eye. We've now moved far enough. That's the Eye of the North. In Guild Wars 2, you can go inside this building, but you can never leave it. You're locked within the bounds of it. The Eye of the North plus the Hall of Monuments bit beyond it. In this game, there's just a regular doorway. There's actually a ton of quests that you do out on this icy lake. I think there's Winter's Day quests here as well, but there's also a chapter of Guild Wars Beyond called Hearts of the North, which had lots of stuff to do here too, so there's a lot of content. This is ice, right? So in Guild Wars 1, if you stand still, there's all these environmental effects. If you stand still, you get hit by the icy ground, so then you move really slow. So look, when I'm standing still, I'm like icy. So this is really relevant for like casters and when battle starts, but if you keep moving, you can slide over. This is a weird little mechanic. There's lots of little things like that in Guild Wars 1. But the Daljamora here, yeah, you get a little bit of dialogue as well whenever you click someone. This was a new thing for Eye of the North. Oh shit, I just defaulted. Whoa, I think I pressed D for default. That looks okay to me.
You seek the dwarves?
You seek the dwarves. King Jarla's Ironhammer has rallied the greatest dwarven army of our time to battle the Great Destroyer. The dwarven base is in a cave we call the Battle Deaths west of here. Our time of destiny is near. So yeah, there's an entrance to the deep underground over there. I'm mousing over it right now. We're not going to be going there though. We're going to be going north, up to some Norn settlements. Think we'll get here in the saga? Well, this is the question. How do they do it? Because we kind of already get to go there. Do I have a guild in Guild Wars 1? I do. The Spud Club is not in Guild Wars 1 as far as I know. We might have made a weird branch at some point. But I've got some old friends that I kind of like staying in their guild for posterity's sake. But yeah, so this is the Eye. Before it was all dilapidated and broken down. If you speak to the NPCs here, you learn that it's sort of mysterious who made it. There was some new Eye of the North skills you could buy here. This is Mika Ferguson. Some of these NPCs like end up living in Ebonhawk, and you find reference to them in Ebonhawk. But here, like, you'll see Eye of the North stuff, Signet of Capture. I may as well buy one. It's always good to have a Signet of Capture, guys. Show them my hall. Yeah, I guess I can. So in here, this is the hall where a lot of the story takes place. Lots of cutscenes are triggered here. In fact, one of the nice things about this is it's replayable cutscenes. So here Gwen's going to be talking because it's Hearts of the North stuff. But what's kind of cool is if I ever want to get a random cutscene from Eye of the North for a Guild Wars 2 video, this is one of the places I usually go because I can get it from the scrying pool. Listen to that sound effect. So I can say, show me past visions. See, and we get all this stuff. So, for example, the first time we ever visited this place. Someone wants to skip. No, we're here to watch this.
This is what we've been guarding.
Looks like a scrying device.
You're right. We know it's magical, but can't get it to work.
Hang on. Often these things are just a matter of concentration.
No one else has been able to do that.
Just lucky, I guess.
What was that?
A destroyer. We fought them earlier. They've captured the Dwarven and Asuran tunnels.
And they're coming this way?
Seems like it.
Vec, we have to rally the local populace, these Norn.
But we don't know how much of the gate network has been compromised.
Exactly. We're on our own. The battle starts here. The destroyers are coming up from the depths. We need an army right now. Help me convince the Norn to help
The
us.
destroyers drove my people to the surface, west of these mountains. We should contact them.
They're both wrong. It's the Ebon Vanguard that needs your help. A large detachment led by Captain Langmar made a sortie into the Char homelands. They're now several weeks overdue, and I fear the worst. I need you to help me find them.
We need my people's knowledge.
No, we need the Norn as allies.
It's up to you, Buka. Which do we do first?
Why do I have to make the tough decisions?
You're just lucky, I guess.
Because games. That was their answer both times. Because games. It's kind of cheeky what the devs were actually doing there. So yeah, it's very the lighting in here is very warm in the cutscene. It's kind of interesting actually. Let me just quickly do something here. Sounds. I don't want to mute when I'm in the background. We could go highest, I guess. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is we'll do our thing, and then I'll probably host you over to Girl Wars at the end, because I don't want to be going on too long, and if I get into a big conversation, you never know how stuff like that will go. So that's the way that we'll do that. But, yeah, anyway, yeah, I was just asked, did I get 50 points in the Hall of Monuments? Yeah, I did. Here's what happened with me with the Hall of Monuments. When they finally did release the calculator, like I'd been playing for ages and just getting rewards and stuff. When they did release the calculator, I had 49 out of 50 points in the thing, and the only reason I didn't have 50 out of 50 was because you needed to dedicate a tormented weapon, and I think they'd only just added that as a feature to add tormented weapons. It was something like that. I already had all the destroy ones or whatever, but I needed to add a oh shit! Someone left the party right as we were. It's fine. We can 7-man it. It's not a problem. So yeah, I needed to add a tormented weapon, and so I did that. It took me like all of 15 seconds, and then I had 50 out of 50. I never actually had a moment where I like grinded for Hall of Monuments points. That just wasn't a thing. I never knew what rewards I were getting. I never knew about AP. I never knew about minis, and none of it mattered, you know. It was just I was a fan of the game, and I was already playing. So here was the thing. Any Norn you met, you'd want to beat him in battle before he'd talk to you. So we'll get our passives up. He goes bear form. He was defeated pretty quick there. And then when we speak to him again, look how cool they were. Is this nostalgia or what? Look at that guy. Look at him. He looks fucking awesome. He looks a bit derpy. I appreciate. But he looks cooler than the Guild Wars 2 werebears, doesn't he? Imagine that with just better like fur and stuff. Do you know what IceBrood Saga should do? It should not just look at the totems a lot, but it should like... It should give us new versions of, like, the totems and stuff. New kinds of bear form interpretations and stuff. Like, give me, like, a polar bear form. And then have a fun conversation between me and a Coden or something. Yeah, the elites just feel... I don't know.
Lost?
You're new, not Norn either. Likely will be eaten by beasts. Prove me wrong. I'll kill them all. That almost you'd think would be a John Wick reference. Did most people not play Guild Wars 1? I think a lot of them did. I'm just talking to those who didn't, though. We get flashing blades up. Bottomless pit raid. I don't know about a raid in there, but it would be interesting for them to do something with it. I wonder whether they'll do something with Jormag at the central transfer chamber, or... I don't know. Why did I get energy there from knocking that guy down? Oh, fuck, I got... Mandragores are brutal, by the way. I wonder if they'll make it into Guild Wars 2. Jesus Christ, the energy drain. I'm just going to keep autoing anyway, because I have a chance to knock down with the Great Dwarf weapon. He's max Delgamore rank as well. Plus 20 damage a strike, which is a lot. And 40% chance to knock down every time I hit. It's really good. Combined with you move like a beast, like we've got a lot of... Any kind of single target situation where there's one big boss, we got a lot of incapacitation. So you can like explore a little bit more on the right here. You know, if I get my mini-map over here. So there's a collector and stuff. I'm going to pretty much make a beeline towards Gunnar's Hold, though. I think people on the other stream are disappointed I'm not going to get into Discord. I just don't have the time. I don't have the time. It wasn't. If it was, though, this game has PvP, which no other game has. It can be on top of Twitch lists with League, Dota, etc. Guild Wars 1. Well, if they had kept supporting Guild Wars 1, if they had found their way through adding new skills and professions, if they had gone into doing, like, standard formats like Hearthstone did and shit like that, I think, yeah, it could have been a thing. It really could have. There's a much more competitive... There's a universe out there where ArenaNet did it as well because they were so close. They let a lot of stuff slip through their fingers. That's just the sad truth. They've let an enormous amount of things slip through their fingers. And Guild Wars 1 and competitive Guild Wars 1 is probably on the list. Probably. It was never as big as people think it was, but it had the potential. You're waiting at Gunnars if we're still 7-man? Yeah, we certainly are. So this is the Hart Domains. Which is definitely a much bigger of a map. Kind of has that Guild Wars 2 rectangular feel to it. But before you go off exploring the map, you can take a quick right to get over this cliff. You see that big building back there? That is Gunnar's Hold. So there's some Norn graves. Here rests the remains of Barn Frostfeet, who walked from one end of the Shiver Peaks mountains to the other, barefoot, and drank a pint of ale in toast to each tree he saw along the way. So big and larger than life. Here rests Hrody Ice Crusher, who climbed to the top of the great mountain and slew the glacial griffin with his bare hands, fashioning the head into a stylish helm so all who saw him would know of his great deed. This is interesting. They suggest like of one highest peak. I wonder what that would be. Anvil Rock or even higher? One enormous peak, maybe super far north that we've not seen within the Shiver Peaks. Here lies Arid Firebeard, slayer of the great ice drake Kael'thas, crusher of the dwarven lord Mundoon, and drinker of 12 casks of ale in a single sitting. Look at this. We're already getting in on the Norn stories, and we've not seen any of them yet. You can actually interact with the welcome sign as well, and if I remember rightly, there's a bit of lore on this. Easy to miss, yeah. Population unknown. Take heed, all who enter here. Know that this is the home of Norn legends. We who have slain the greatest beasts in the land, drunk ale more deeply than any other, and proudly boasted of our deeds loud enough for the spirits to hear and take notice. And it's these legends that the spirits will go to in a few years and lead south to safety. When they are all lost. The ruins of Gunnar's Hold are going to be really exciting to go to. Like, the place that the Norn, well, a lot of the Norn were taken from. So, yeah, Gunnar's, the loading screen is kind of referencing this big hearth here. You know the Great Hall in Guild Wars 2? You know the Great Lodge? One of the big things about Guild Wars 1 is they never really did interiors. Ever, really. There were a couple, but they were always big open rooms. And they knew going into Guild Wars 2 they wanted to do interiors. And I literally think they looked at this exact building and this exact suggestion and concept art and stuff. And when they built Holbrack in Guild Wars 2, they were like, let's make it just a fucking giant epic one of these. And you get to go in it and you get to live in it. Here's Gunnar himself.
Hail, Lowlander.
He looks pretty derpy, I have to admit.
Hail, Lowlander.
But he's big. He's very big. The height difference is always quite pronounced here. So, yeah, he's got a ton of stuff. We're not going to go through every little bit of lore. If I start doing a bit, then we're going to end up doing loads. But there it is. And so Gunnar's Hold. The armor of Gunnar Poundfist claims current ownership over this massive hearthstead, the longest occupied of all Norn settlements. This great hold has changed names numerous times over the years, controlled and claimed by many powerful Norn. Gunnar is a notable smith, a profession that earns great respect within the Norn community, enough so that Poundfist's claim on Gunnar's Hold has stood for quite some time, as most other Norn are wary of losing his goodwill. And of course in Guild Wars 2 they added crafting and actual smithing. Oh, this is really nice, thank you, but it really is just because of quicksand, and I would change my build sooner than I would change my gear. I appreciate that though, that's very nice of you. What else is there? There was the Norn fighting tournament. If you guys watched my Let's Play of this game, I spent so long at the Norn tournament, it's insane. And there was brawling you could do here with the dwarves. This is such a rich area and such a rich time in the lore. Okay, so we got a lot of choice of where we could go now. I'm actually going to take us out to the west. We're headed off to Olafstead. And the edge of the mountains. Oh, shit. I've aggroed a lot of char. I don't suppose anyone has any of the Ebon Vanguard wells, do they? Holy fuck. Oh, they're all low level. I forgot. Right, yeah. They're level like 8. Let's get flashing blades up. So when I hit low level things, we're almost guaranteed to crit, so our energy is just going to go really heavy. I'm going to focus on this level 20 guy, keep him knocked down. Go for the supports as well. Oh, someone DC'd. The guy that literally just joined us DC'd like moments later. I'm not sure what he's blocking with, but blocking is huge against assassins. Because if I spend my energy on an attack that then doesn't land or crit, it's really painful. Oh, I don't have critical eye on. Nice. Oh, a superb char carving. Always feels good to get those. Get another wave over here. This one's all like mostly warriors and beastie guys. Bagarth can mend Magdair and name it Bagarth's Hold. Now that would be pretty cool. So what Flashing Blades does is it means as long as I'm attacking, I have a 75% chance to block. So against these Axe Masters, as long as I'm not against casters, you know, because you can't block magic. If I'm against stuff like that, I basically have 75% damage reduction while under the effects of this stance. It's an elite stance, right? The thing is, every time I block, I splash damage out too. So this is really cool. So anyway, the Char are pissed that we're here. We don't worry about that too much. Tear their limbs from their bodies. Impale their skulls on our pikes. Leave no human alive. And in Guild Wars 2, ooh, maybe I ideologically disagree with you. It's okay. Come here. I'm just gonna give you a little scratch. Meow. I'm a cute little kitty cat. Meow. /sleep. Alright. Yeah, Char are pretty badass. The Norn are pretty badass. Guild Wars 1 Char, kill them all. Guild Wars 2 Char, meow. Mostly what I'm talking about there is the person in chat earlier who was saying, oh no, like essentially trying to justify the idea that the Flame Legion is soft. If we're saying that most of the aggression in Guild Wars 1 was because of the Flame Legion's banner, I'm sorry. Someone said, dude, the Char saw civilization, it's only natural. I don't care about how authentically you can justify it. I care about the decision to go in that direction in the first place. What don't you understand about that? What people really struggle with that, like, basic premise. Alright, we go this way. We can speak to another Norn. This one's Fioda the Wild Woman. That's a cool name, and I bet that's not taken in Guild Wars 2 of today. I bet you can make a Norn female with this name.
Yeah, hey there.
Yeah, hey there. Howdy, y'all. Y'all got any of them bear forms? Never have I known such a quarry as the beasts that roam hereabouts. They are nearly as smart as humans, but 10 times meaner. Each time I catch up to them, they run before I can strike them down. You humans are swift folk. I bet you could catch them. Interesting. The Norn think of us as swift, but not necessarily smart. I guess if you're a big lumbering Norn, you would think that way. They're struggling, and it's both, Benji. They're struggling to understand basic things, and then they're trying to give me another view that is irrelevant. A well-considered and understood one. So we go to the bottom left. I'm not sure I really have too much more to say, actually. That's the thing. A lot of these maps are like, compared to Guild Wars 2, they feel big and vast and open, but compared to Guild Wars 2, unless you're really buying into the standard, like, running around killing things experience, there is a lot more to say about these. You just kind of look at it, you just take it in, you breathe them in. And the thing is, when they went to 8-man as well, the standard killing things experience was actually not that good, I don't think. Oh, Water Trident, nice. Here you go. So this is the kind of thing that you want to pain invert, right? You let him cast Deep Freeze on you when you're all balled up. Like, you play a pure backline comp, and you pain invert right before the Deep Freeze, and he hits everyone, and you just splash 8 packets, at least 8 packets of Deep Freeze back on him. Or pain invert back on him. Have I opened the bank since the update? No, but I have seen all the tabs. I've seen what it looks like. Show off Jakar. Yeah, we'll get to Jakar. We will get to Jakar. So this is the Varahar Fells. This is a place where... Okay, so in Eye of the North, there were a couple of quests that were big, like, super secret quest lines. where not secret, but they were really hinting at the future in like major ways. Like Lazarus, you know how Lazarus became a whole story in Guild Wars 2? The whole Lazarus thing came from a side quest in Eye of the North that was deliberately baiting us into the future. And well, there's another one to do with the facets and gods and elder dragons and a land unwaking and all these big mysteries, and it was all talked about in a cipher. That quest ends here at a haunted forest down here in the Varahar Fells. And when you go to the Dermond Priory in Guild Wars 2, you can find like a book, and it says it was recovered from the Varahar Fells. Welcome, we're here. You can't explore it in Guild Wars 2, but this is where that book came from, the Varahar Fells. I'm really messing up my binds. My muscle memory with my Naga and what I press on my Naga is not lining up. It's weird. Oh yeah, we got Wendigos as well. I forgot about these. Do you think we'll see any Wendigos in Guild Wars 2? They're basically just like Minotaurs, right? There's no Wendigos in Guild Wars 2 yet, are there? I like them though. They look cool. God, I gotta love those 79 damage crits. So I'll go south and show you the forest. This is it. You see these dead trees? Like, all the trees are dead here. And as we walk in, you're gonna see it gets really spooky really quickly. And look, there's all these ghosts. The idea is that this is an area that's like close to the mists. They're Wendigon. Here you go, look at this. Unfortunately, the very last Massart did not get much attention in Guild Wars 2. I think it got loads of attention in Guild Wars 2. Also, he's not necessarily the last. Maybe the last on this planet, on this dimension, interior as we currently know it. I think he got loads. There was basically, I know he wasn't actually in it much until the end, but he basically got a whole season, and then they did an entire patch just to deal with his, like, loose end kind of thing right before Path of Fire. We didn't need the Sirens Landing patch. That didn't have to happen. Getting the Lazarus didn't have to happen, but it did. They spent loads of time on Lazarus. I think it's actually really fucking scummy and disrespectful of how much content and how much voice acting and how many stories and things happen in Season 3. All about Lazarus and the threat of Lazarus and, like, the idea of Lazarus at the very least, right? That is all Lazarus subject material. Just because at the end it's like, oh, it's actually an imposter. They still had, it was still all about that, and it was all still feeding off of that Eye of the North quest. To turn around after and say they didn't do enough is, like, fucking bullshit. To say that they spent basically a year flirting with the subject material and talking about the subject material, and then finally in the final patch actually having the character there. To then say, oh, that wasn't much, I think is, like, disgraceful. That discredits the actual content and the work of the devs to such a, like, ludicrously over-cynical degree. I don't know how you can, like, possibly think you're being intelligent, as you say. Yeah, and I agree, Nocta. Here's my actual opinion. I think what they did with Siren's Landing was kind of bad. I actually think it was like, it kind of sucked that Lazarus was there at the end and killed at the end, and they kind of threw the actual one in. I think it was kind of lame that they felt they had to do that they had to go that bit further. You know, you can tell that was like a bonus patch, like an extra thing that they were kind of tacking on the end. I almost regret that it was like that. But it's there to placate people who make comments like I just had in my chat. You know, they went that far just to get people to shut up about it, basically, and they still won't shut up about it. So, you know, that makes me even think it's even more ridiculous. Because they kind of tampered with, you know, the play. Just to make sure the actual Lazarus was shown at the end. I almost don't like the beat. So, I mean, shit, they've done all that. They made that huge compromise. At least acknowledge that Lazarus was touched on. Do I think we'll ever go to Cantha? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know why. I don't know what the issue NCSoft might have had. I don't see the logic of NCSoft having an issue. I thought it was all bullshit until there was I think it was a Josh Foreman quote at one point that kind of suggested that there was something real to it. I don't know. I don't know whether the devs are just letting people think that it can't happen so they can genuinely excite us later. I don't know whether the fact they couldn't do it in 2012 would have any bearing on what they do in 2022, right? Like, it's 10 years difference, you know, or 2013 to 2020 or whatever you like. 7 years difference. Go whatever you like. I don't know whether, you know, these things can change. It's NC... the idea that... Well, like, what's the idea that NCSoft don't like it because it's like a mix of Asian cultures and they don't like the idea of, like, Japanese stuff being in next to Korean stuff being in next to Chinese stuff, and... I don't know what even is that? What are you talking about? It's business. It's business. Is there money in doing an expansion around that? Yeah, so do it. But I don't understand. And, you know, it's NCSoft West, not NCSoft East. So what? Like, it's all so weird to me. Why can't we go to Cantha? Why? Why can't we go to Cantha? Someone actually tell me. No one ever really has. It's just been, ooh, our publisher doesn't. But why? NCSoft don't like my Tengu voice. Oh, now I understand. Ah, I get it. I think the problem was it was all slums, the whole Kaineng area, but yeah, it makes no sense. Well, look, let's not think, okay? Let's not muddy the waters. Let's not have randoms in chat say, I think it was this, and then the streamer says, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And now that's the reality. We don't know what the reality is. I don't know, and I don't think we've ever had an actual answer. I don't know why the Get Devs are cagey on giving an actual answer because they don't want to disappoint people, or I don't know whether it's like set in stone. Everything I know about the world, though, makes me, and admittedly it's not much, makes me very curious. It doesn't give me an answer as to why the answer would be a hard no. I just don't get it. When would Cantha happen? Let's assume we get a year and a half of IceBrood, then what? Well, maybe then. There you go, you've just answered it. That's what I think. Let's see. Look, Guild Wars can go in two ways. It could never do Cantha, alright? There is a fundamental thing here, and it's Guild Wars 2 doesn't have to do everything Guild Wars 1 did. Just because it existed in Guild Wars 1, it's kind of like it's such an adolescent, like, malformed, ill-conceived, dumb premise to even start with. And say, oh, it was in Guild Wars 1, so it has to be in Guild Wars 2. No, fuck you. Maybe Cantha was in Guild Wars 1, and then it's not in Guild Wars 2, but it comes back in Guild Wars 3. Maybe it's not in Guild Wars 3. Maybe Cantha is only in Guild Wars 1. Who cares? It doesn't have to... Guild Wars 1 can tell its own stories and do its own thing. It's not... The duty of this game is not to just go on some stupid wank-off over everything that the original did, you know? Oh, this place was cool, let's go there. Oh, this place was cool, let's go there. Oh, this... You know, Guild Wars 2 can be more than that. There's nothing that says it has to go to Cantha, okay? But the point is, like, what if Guild Wars isn't good enough and it does kind of have to keep looking at Guild Wars 1 lore? And so, yeah, maybe we want to go to Cantha. Maybe we're just being pure pragmatists and we're saying, all right, Guild Wars 2 would earn a lot of money if it looked at Cantha. Lots of people want it. The fans want it. Feedback. Please give us your feedback. Please. All right, the feedback is we want Cantha. Fine, so let's go to Cantha. Let's kowtow. Let's do it. You know, so maybe that's the justification. So if that's the world we're living in, who's saying no and why? Is someone saying no and why? Like, it just seems so weird to me. I could totally understand if ArenaNet haven't taken us to Cantha because they just don't care about it. I could totally understand that. But then you do hear actual people from the studio suggesting there was something more. So that's the weird bit to me. And then finally, Guild Wars 2 could meaningfully end without ever going to Cantha. We get IceBrood Saga and the Deep Sea Dragons got to look in. Maybe there's Underwater Saga after that, if you really need it. Or maybe both are dealt with in IceBrood. And then you end up with a Primordus thing. None of that stuff has to go to Cantha. None of it has to. Especially if IceBrood is about to reveal to us that the Deep Sea Dragon is like a Cthulhu menace. There's no reason to give it ties to the Salt Sprays and, you know, the people of Cantha and the Dragon Empire. There's no... You could tie it, or you could go in a different direction. Just as you could justify the Char becoming all, you know, really soft. Or you could go in a different direction. What one do you think is best? What is the story you really want to tell? You know, and maybe they cut out the empire of the dragon. Maybe because of, you know, their publisher. We just don't know. What if they make a new continent? Exactly, you could do that too. Alright, so this is Olafstead. Home of Olafsson, the 7th Olaf in his family line. This squat hilltop fort overlooks the Varahar Fells. The grass-covered keep is a haven for Norn hunters to rest between battles and tell tales by the fireside. Olaf is also the reigning champion of the Great Norn Alemoot, and his notoriety draws younger Norn to his fireside to hear stories of his mighty battles. So there you have it. And I think, isn't this where Gwen got married? So Logan's like great-great-grandmum, Logan Thackeray. Gwen, okay, so Gwen is just like this little girl you meet in Pre-Searing. Then she's captured at the hands of the Char for years, blah, blah, blah. She ends up marrying this dude called Kieran Thackeray. She marries a Thackeray, right? And so that happens here at Olafstead. And then their descendants eventually get Logan Thackeray at the end. But the moment where Gwen became a Thackeray, she wasn't always a Thackeray. I think they got married here. That's what the Hearts of the North story was. The Imperial fleet could help us out. Yeah, I've always liked that idea. I've liked the idea of the Imperial fleet on the horizon. There's two kind of big things I've always dreamt would be great intros to Cantha. One is someone talked about this a long time ago, the idea that when we would go to the Fire Island chain, after we clear that out, after Zaitan's dead and, you know, everything's kind of open, that you see the Imperial fleet on the horizon, they're coming to help you. And I like that idea of introducing the Canthans. The Canthans have come to us. And then maybe we have a bit of story with them, and then the whole minecart thing that I've talked about before. I like that as us actually going there. I think those would be great intros. You know, a big cliffhanger where you see the Imperial fleet out in the ocean. That would be a really cool way to end, like, a saga. That would be so cool. And then, you know, you go in. What people might forget is in Guild Wars 1, the first sight we had of the Canthans, they came to Kryta. There was, like, a Canthan tent and a Luxon tent. There was, like, a mini, like, almost like a mini festival thing celebrating the release of factions. And the NPCs were there. And I like the idea of sort of redoing that to some degree in Guild Wars 2 years later. That'd be kind of cool. That's what you've been thinking about since 2012? Well, I think it's a good idea, man. So here, we just need a crit to get our combos rolling again. And then we'll be good. So I did want to show you this. So this is still the far Shiver Peaks, but this is the other side. What you're looking at here is like ultra remote. The Bastion of the Penitent is actually underground somewhere near-ish to here. Not totally right next to here, but the Bastion of the Penitent is nearby. I really want Mobius Strike, to be honest, at the moment. That would allow me to refresh my dual attack instantly whenever I like. To be honest, I could just have like Falling Spider or something on with you move like a dwarf and Great Dwarf Weapon on me all the time. I don't even need Jagged Strike, really. And Jagged Strike's pretty shit. It doesn't have a bonus modifier in it. It's just super renewable. Anyway, so yeah, we could keep going, but then we're at the Verdant Cascades, and we're kind of in another place. I'm wondering if the centaurs that we see in the trailer are somewhere around here. But look how big and how much content there is suggested on the Guild Wars 1 parchment versus Guild Wars 2. It's so crazy. This is what it must be nostalgia, but there's something about the parchment in this game that is very magical to me. All right, so what we're actually going to do instead... Should I take you to the entrance of Raven's Point? I haven't been there for years. Let's go have a look. But yeah, if it ain't snowy, we're not going to stick about for this little tour here. Watch the Tengu start a war with Cantha, and Lion's Arch will get pulled into it. Well, how strong are the Tengu? How incredible is the Dominion of Winds? I like the idea that if and when that becomes a thing in Guild Wars 2, they really go big with it. Okay, so this is one of the advantages of Jagged Strike. I can change my target to the Monk really quickly just to make sure I'm getting the knockdowns on there. I'm actually not having any right now, so we're going to crit strike to get the energy for you move like a dwarf. There you go. Hitting Oryx are cool. Enemies are just so interesting in this game because they use player skills. Man, this game had combat done really well. PvE combat. I had no idea that all the other MMOs had such bad PvE combat compared to this game's. I mean, it's all pretty power crept and stuff right now, but still. Welcome back to Guild Wars 1. Thanks, man. It's good to be playing today. Our Great Dwarf Weapon buffer is slacking. He's not maintaining it on us. Just keep spamming those Death Blossoms. Something's healing him. I'm going to go crit strike on this one. For the energy for a knockdown. You move like a dwarf's crazy as well because it's armor ignoring. Like, it will always be 80 damage. Like, you want 80 damage, you're getting it. We got interrupted on critical agility. Like, that, even that's huge to go back to and remember. If you get interrupted, you're on full cooldown, bitch. Like, nice punishing stuff. Put my title on for a buff. Oh, okay. Slayer of Heroes? These are character bound, so she's not maxed out on it, but we get 100 extra health. Did he retire? Did Bill retire? Is that what that was? Did he retire or did he move on to another studio? Because that's the thing, right? People are always wondering, is it another studio? Who has poached? That guy got rid of weakness on me really quick, which I'm really happy about. Maybe Raven's Point wasn't on this map. I don't seem to be able to get up into the corner. It's a new studio. He's actually pretty young. Feels bad. Was the dungeon or the story area? Well, there's two actually. A gate too far starts there and Raven's Point is near them. This tree looks interesting. Oh, there you go. Look, we'd be able to go now. I'm not actually going to go up there, though. Now that I was hoping to go a slightly more kind of perimeter-oriented route. But now we're gonna cross that bridge, basically. Oh, no, this one over here, I think it is. Yeah, and that's the entrance to the next map. Mind freeze. Oof, feels bad. Guild Wars 2 is only better because it stands on the shoulders of Guild Wars 1. I don't know whether I believe that. Look, day by day, I'm getting more and more... I'm drinking my own Kool-Aid, okay? Which I'm always very aware that I might be doing, you know, in all kinds of subjects. But more and more... Oh, this is good. We're not a caster, so we can just keep spamming through Maelstrom. That feels really good. Fuck you, Maelstrom. No interrupts from me. I'm beginning to believe in the whole WildStar killed. I'm beginning to really believe that ArenaNet were making a sci-fi MMO in 2013 and 2012 and 2013, and NCSoft told them to stop because of WildStar. I really believe that at the moment. I really believe it. All right, but let's just assume it's true for a second. Had that game come out, I think it would have been an excellent MMO. I think it would have been a really, really good MMO. I actually think it probably would have been better than Guild Wars 2. Because you gotta realize the talent that would have been behind that MMO, they would have been all the same people working. There was no churn at that point, right? There would have been all the minds, all the efforts, all the people that had been thinking about Guild Wars 2, had prototype dynamic events, what they could do, what they couldn't do, had embraced a game with jumping, you know, and how people were cheesing dungeons. And, you know, how reward currencies worked and how legendaries worked, and they would have had all of that. It was those guys, and they had recently just released an MMO. So they had all that expertise, they had all that hindsight, all that thought. They were all together, they were working together as a team. They had it ironed out. They were like they were leveling up. They were there. And if they had got another MMO out in a totally new IP, right? It wasn't a Guild Wars IP. It would have been an incredible MMO and it would have had nothing to do with the IP. I really think it would have been an extremely good MMO if they had got it out. But I think NCSoft came in and they said, "Ooh, we don't want two sci-fi MMOs in the West. What about WildStar? Here, just look, you tell them what you've learned and then we'll get them to help you with raid telegraphs and, you know, we'll do some little collaborations," of which we in the public heard about a couple of them. And there you go. But then WildStar were like, "No, we don't want to do anything like you, ArenaNet, sorry, but no. And they went off and did their own thing. They made their own mistakes. There you go. That's what I believe. There's an alternate reality out there. You wonder how different Guild Wars 2 would have been if they had a parallel sci-fi MMO? Yeah, I think it would have been different, but I don't think it would have been resource restricted. That's the thing. I think that Guild Wars 2 that we've been experiencing playing is the resource restricted one. Does that make sense? It's just mismanagement and all that kind of other stuff that means we never got the other MMO at the end of the tunnel. But I think that all the resources had been shifted anyway. So I think that Guild Wars 2 would have been a bit different because it would have learned things from the sci-fi MMO or whatever. But I think it would have had just as many updates. I think it would have been exactly the same, you know, in terms of number of expansions or, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, by the way, so we're now in a new map. This is a pretty iconic map. This is like the map to me when I think about Fast Shiver Peaks. We're at Jakar Lake. So there's a little outpost there. That's where you get like Urson form, Urson blessing. It's not actually the true form in this game. It's just the blessing. There's a cave. Where? Oh no, the cave's on the bottom right, not the bottom left. Okay, so they're all Jotun caves up at the top. I'm probably not going to explore the Jotun caves. There's stuff to do with the Norn Bear up there. That would be kind of interesting to see in Guild Wars 2. God, where did all these guys come from? I tried to interrupt him with you move like a dwarf there, but these guys are giants, which means they're immune to knockdown. That was much more of a thing in Guild Wars 1. Specific traits. Oh man, that little sound, that doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I'm thinking about the mechanics of this game. I just felt very warm inside. I felt very warm indeed. Oh, and now this music. I'm in a weird place of nostalgia right now. I'm getting a bit existential. What happened to the boy that played this game? And who has he been replaced with now? It's kind of weird. You guys really want to see Murukai, right? You're talking about the rabbit thing in the cave, right? You want to go to the cave? Oh, I feel weird. I feel very, very, very weird. And not in a particularly pleasant way as well in some ways. A potato that is very salty from life. Look, you got to put some salt on a potato before you bake it. You're going to do a good jacket. Oh, don't. You're going to make me hungry. I had some chicken at about 1 o'clock. Like a chicken breast. I'm way ahead of my group right now, by the way. And these are casters, so flashing blades isn't going to do anything. So I'm probably going to die. Oh, there you go. Patient spirit comes in. I fucked up my combo, so we got fail. $99.88. Oh, I'm feeling good. I kind of should have played a Necro today. I should have played a Necro. Since I've been playing WoW Classic, it's made me want to play this game so much more. But what I really want to do is I want to play some really good builds. Assassin isn't really that interesting, to be honest. Especially not if I'm just running a spammy meta build like this. Or vaguely meta build. Oh, I got a donation from a Jules. Had to work for half a day Saturday. Your streams have made today much better. Thanks, man, for the $4. I really appreciate that, dude. That's really lovely. Thank you. And, yeah, I'm glad that your work's not been so bad. Here, check it out. Look, we got a rabbit. We walk over to the rabbit. Ooh, isn't it pretty? Ooh. Ooh, let's keep following it. I like rabbits. I like rabbits. This is what Guild Wars 1 did to players who like rabbits, alright? It's all grim and edgy, alright? Ooh. I hope you know how to play the game. Did you have a decent gameplay experience in your formative hours? Do you know how your build works? Uh-oh, it's Nolfastu Earthbound. This isn't Murukai, Lady of the Lake. This is Nolfastu. So, have we seen him in Guild Wars 2 already? I feel like we have. There's a little reference to this in Thunderhead Peaks, which is an extremely recent release. It's only 2 episodes back. A player at a convention was talking to a dev about how much he was geeking out about this. And so the dev added it. They talked about it on a stream. But if you look at my minimap, we're surrounded by mobs now. And it looks like we don't know how to play. It looks like we're wiping. Uh-oh. By the way, spectate. Downstate spectate. I can look at the fact that one of my players is nowhere near me. Oh, I'm alive again. That's why I can't spectate. I was wondering why that wasn't working. They res me. Oh, I keep messing my combos up. A lot of these are weak, by the way. Only level 15. Illusionary weaponry. Oh my god, I'm getting the big res again. It's okay. Let's just over aggro. Let's just die and res out. It's fine. There you go. That's what the cave is like. It's weird seeing recognizable enemies in Guild Wars 1 as a purely Guild Wars 2 player. Yeah, that must be weird, right? Alright, so this guy's still alive. He needs to get himself killed. Oh, he's just going to flex on us on the stream. He's just dancing because he's out here alone. Well, I mean, I can just leave party. If he doesn't do something... Let's see if he gets himself killed. These aren't Skelk. They're Shadow Vateers, alright? They're ghosts. They're not Skelk, okay? Are Skelk Guild Wars 2 exclusive? They might be. These are like Shadow Behemoths, okay? A Shadow Behemoth is not a Skelk. Resign does work in the open world, yeah, but everyone would need to do it, so... I was just assuming he dying would be better. But look at all the mobs in that cave now. Look at the compass. It's pretty cool. Okay, so we should res at a shrine somewhere. And we'll head up north. So we'll go to Sifala. Man, this is actually taking way longer than I thought it was going to. How are we already an hour in? And we've only done like a tiny bit. Oh, and I want to go up to the hole. Alright, we're gonna sprint up, okay? Let's go, guys. We're gonna sprint. This is mostly clean. You're gonna want to see Drakar, aren't you? People won't tolerate not seeing Drakar. But now we've aggroed all the ghosts that spawned in the graveyards. Alright, we're gonna have to kill these, otherwise we'll over aggro too much. No, it's not because I have no mounts. Guild Wars 1 even Guild Wars 2 even pre-mounts did not have this sense of scale. You move very fast. 25% modifiers, 33% modifiers, waypoints, teleports, movement skills like rush. They all fucked with the scale really heavily. So how did I get res 3 times mid combat and 0 times? Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, I should have equipped dash too. So there's centaurs here, okay? So centaurs in the trailer, centaurs of the Shiver Peaks, Modnir. Do you think we're gonna get a lot of Modnir? We might. So they already confirmed that episode 1 and 2 are gonna have a world boss of Drakar in it, and Drakar is currently under this ice in Guild Wars 1. This is what it looks like under the ice in GW1. You see him here? It's very difficult, but this is like a part of Drakar's body. He's just this huge creature under the water. So, back when Guild Wars 1 was out, it was kind of interesting because the earliest days of Eye of the North, we all thought this was hinting at Elder Dragon, a bit like the whole Kralkatorrik mountain range thing. They're of a similar size. But, oh man, the Guild Wars 1 worm sound effect. Now that takes me back. So yeah, anyway, he's going to be a world boss. Yeah, he never had his name confirmed until Guild Wars 2, it's true. It's just Drakar Lake. But there's a whole thing about, you know, the Norn Bear. Wasn't he being whispered to or allured to from beneath the lake? The idea is he's like a champion of Jormag. Okay, so there you go. That's Drakar Lake. There's this huge place here. There's multiple quests. There's dungeons. Unlike with the Eye of the Char Homelands tour, I guess I won't go into the dungeons. You should use Toolbox and /cam to go below the lake. Yeah, I don't have Toolbox installed at the moment, though. Toolbox is awesome, though. It's very cool. So up here, we're going to find some more Norn graves, another graveyard. We're getting super far north now, by the way, guys. Like, ultra north. All right. Very soon, we'll be beyond even the Char Homelands. And as high as you've ever been able to go in Guild Wars 2. I can't remember to what degree or what language they explicitly used when describing Drakar and the Norn Bear. Or the Norn Bear's creation at the hands of Jormag or whatever. By the way, do you hear the little dwarves mining? Do you hear the little clink sounds? That's pretty cool. There was a farm here where you could go to a graveyard and kill a ton of ghosts. I can't remember what you'd be farming. You could get, you would start here for a keg run as well.
Yeah, hey there.
Be still, there are far too many creatures in this land to attract attention. Care to do something about them? Alright, well, there you go. I'm dying because our guy with the henchman, the hero, is not with us. So that graveyard, you walk to it, a ton of ghost spawn. But here we got Sifala. Oh, we can't interact with the Sifala one. So here you have that. Another outpost. The most northern outpost? Yeah, I would say so. Doomlord Shrine slightly south of it. Sif Shadowhunter refused to battle for an encampment held by other Norn, instead building her own hearthstead and defending it so fiercely that some call it Bear Mother's Cave in tribute to her strength and glory. Others of similar attitude have put hides here, describing notorious foes they plan to hunt, or daring others to track them down. So yeah, there's a lot of quests to kill big game here, right? Look at this. Notorious Foe, Avar the Fallen, Whiteout, Fragments of Antiquities, Korin Wild Hunter, Maish, Lady of the Lake, and Nelfastu, Earthbound. That's the guy we just got ambushed by. Once a great northern nature spirit, Nelfastu descended into the dark arts in an attempt to destroy his brethren and usurp their powers. When his intentions were revealed, the other spirits struck down Nelfastu, binding his incorporeal body to this realm and his spirit powers to the next. Beware. Nelfastu retains great power and should be avoided by all costs by the most heroic or foolhardy Norn. He can manipulate the minds of the living and is constantly surrounded by the spirits of those he has trapped. Look at that. He is constantly surrounded. The lone survivor in an encounter with Nelfastu reported he appeared as a simple rabbit before wresting control of her mind. Ooh. So there's hints, you know, they're all just like hidden bosses around this region of the world. So let's head out to the Yaga Moraine. So this is like super north. Oh, we DC'd there for a second. When will we see a Kickstarter based on a game of Guild Wars 1 principles? Ugh, see, that makes me sick. What are you talking about? Why don't ArenaNet just look at the difference between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 and say, hey, Guild Wars 1 was pretty cool. Let's make a contemporary version of that. You never know. Maybe they did do that. You know, maybe one of the big council projects was Guild Wars 1 philosophies and implementation in a new IP. What if that was it? What if that's why they moved away from Guild Wars 1 for all this time? What's this person? Oh, they're just long loading screen. I can't believe people still have long loading screens in this game. Like, who's playing on a fucking 2006 potato at this point? Like, seriously? What's going on with that? It's nearly 2020. Upgrade your rigs, people. I guess maybe that was like a connection issue. But even that's sad too, that, you know, some places, some people still have crazy connection things. So, basically here, I'm not really showing you that many landmarks. We're just charging north. Where's the, Here he is. Let's get the Aurochs first. Okay, good. This is kind of annoying to maintain. I should get a 20% enchant mod on it. So, an avalanche warning. You might think it means avalanches. Loose snowpack, high risk of avalanche. But there's a type of very dangerous caster creature in Guild Wars 1 called an avalanche. They're a type of elemental. Now that I'd love. By the way, they're a Jinn in Guild Wars now. Do you think we'll get Jinn back? Do you think they'll do Jinn in the Guild Wars 2 version of the Shivers? They should, right? Of the Far Shiver Peaks? Because they've got them now. They made him with POF. It's kind of a similar thing, actually. The reason why there's Dervish, like, Jinn and stuff here in Eye of the North is because they just come out of Nightfall and they had all of them, right? And it would be kind of the same in Guild Wars 2. It's weird how in Guild Wars 2 we're following that path in a weird way, you know? I'm gonna get critical eye up. Come on, give me a crit. Are they all immune to crit or some shit? Give me a crit. Maybe I should have taken the energy. The Guild Wars 1 Jinns had a better look. I kind of agree. Look, I'm actually not a person that's constantly on, oh, Guild Wars 1 is so much better. I don't. I actually think Guild Wars 2 is clearly magnitudes better game. Like, way, way, way. There's actually no argument you can give me that on the whole, Guild Wars 2 is a better game. It's just fucking lunacy if you even dare, right? There's certain elements of Guild Wars 1 that are a bit better, definitely. But on the whole, come on. There's no contest. It's not even like... It's like pathetic to even try and suggest. But one of the little elements of Guild Wars 1 that I do think was better was the design of the Jinn. Yeah, they look really sleek and magical and cool. They really do. And the Guild Wars 2 version, they actually went kind of grim with it, you know. And I like me some dark stuff. You know, they look ragged and they're in like their torn mummy wraps and stuff. But they're just not as sleek. I kind of like that sleek side. Here, look, these avalanches, these things we're killing. I wonder if we'll get versions of those in Guild Wars 2. Because they never did it for Nightfall. Nightfall had versions of those. Guild Wars 1 was a better game for its time than Guild Wars 2 was for its time. Now, that's a fun discussion. You might have something there. I don't think Guild Wars 1 was a more successful game for its time, though, than Guild Wars 2 is as a successful game for its time. I think a lot of people look back on Guild Wars 1 and they're like, oh, it was this amazing thing. It wasn't. It was a fucking fringe outsider thing most people felt didn't have enough content. And they were playing WoW and they were playing Asian Grinders instead. That's the truth. It was a fringe experience. Most people, all right, like, hadn't heard of Guild Wars 1. They have now, right? If you go to most, like, anywhere on the internet and you say about Guild Wars 1, they'll say, oh, yeah, I know about Guild Wars 1. But they only know about it because of Guild Wars 2. And they'll say, yeah, I didn't play Guild Wars 1 when it came out. I just didn't know about it. I hadn't heard of it. It had no market, and I don't know. I just didn't play it. I didn't know it existed. And that's the truth. Guild Wars 1 was a fringe experience. So in terms of popularity, I don't think you can make that argument. But the idea it was this hidden gem for its day, well, you know, that's a pretty fun one. Maybe we can talk about that. Yeah, everyone was playing other MMOs. Alright, so these guys, Skeggy and so on, they're all looking to dive into a dungeon, a really awesome dungeon. Frostmore's Burrows, the ultimate dungeon, really. The ultimate endgame optional dungeon, I feel. There are a couple of others that give this one a run for its money, but this is a hell of a dungeon. It's got so many floors to it, it's crazy. Anyway, that's the entrance there on the left, Frostmore. We could do something there. I like the idea of having another giant worm fight at some point in upcoming content. But here it is, guys. Here is the hole. The coolest bit of lore in the far Shiver Peaks. We're nearing the north boundary of the most northern map in all of the franchise so far. I mean, we have lore about the Norn and stuff, about the Coden and stuff being further up north, but we've never visited it. So here it is. This is the northernmost boundary. You get this little ring. You can walk between this. That's north up there. You can come around here. But the terrain gets too rough. You can move no further. You can only walk to, like, here. That's it. Who knows what lies beyond? I mean, with Toolbox, you can break your imagination, but yeah. So, but check it out. There's a giant worm here. Sissith the Leviathan. And it's going to siege us, and it's an Ellie, so get ready. And we can't knock it down. So hopefully we... Oh my god, we killed it super fast. Holy shit. I got blown up, by the way. Churning Earth. Guild Wars 1 Churning Earth, by the way. And Shockwave. I ate a triple impact Shockwave there. But yeah, look at this. There are bats flying ominously. There's like light and magic at the very northbound of all of the franchise. And a giant black hole. And the black hole, we can interact with this. In memory of the Norn who ventured into the bottomless pit to discover if it leads to the other side of the world. Askell Cliff Diver, Gunholf the Mountain, Hardy Jotun Crusher. May they find glory and honor in the mists, should they never return. Norn that look, and look at how efficiently they express this amazing idea as well. How efficiently they do that. It's just a couple of sentences, but they get all the ideas out there. It's a bottomless pit. Does it lead to the other side of the world? Wouldn't it be cool if Norn jumped in? Yes. They do it in like 2 sentences. That's some good writing there. And there you have it, guys. That's it. And I would like to see this return in Guild Wars 2. It would be very cool. If they added jumping. Oh, dude. Like, make that a jumping puzzle. And you're like, but it's like a reverse jumping puzzle. That would be insane if they did something really creative with that. So there you have it. The upper bound of the world. This always seemed like an interesting... I mean, the parchment was just way more detailed and interesting to speculate about. Anyway, so now we just go south. And we hit the Bjorn marches. We could go from Gunnars. We could go strictly north. But we already saw the Hart Domains. Let's go south, I guess. Let's just run south. Let's do the length of the map again and go down. We could even get ourselves killed and res at the start if we haven't hit a res shrine. There's a worm. Get ready. Even this is pretty cool. I appreciate this more nowadays. The screen shake, letting you know a worm is coming. That's kind of cool. Guild Wars 2's never done anything like that. What if we jump down with a glider and he's still alive? Well, Norn can be pretty long-lived. I don't know 250 years long-lived, though. And I don't really feel compelled... we're blind, so... I don't really feel compelled by the idea that there's like a mini, like, civilized society that's lived there and bred there for years or something. I think that's a bit weird. Why not go kill the Necro boss in the northwest to get a better view of the far north? Oh, yeah, that is a good point. Up here, there's actually a road. Oh, I should do that. All right, let's go do that. Oh, I want move speed. None of us are running full back. Where's everybody dying, by the way? Ogden is struggling. Is that kind of nest? Hold on. You're right. Over here, there's like a ramp, and it gives you a proper vista of the far north. Like a proper one. It's not actually as far. I don't think you can walk as far. I think the hole is the furthest. I might be wrong. The hole might not be the furthest. Worm bile is pretty gross. Just don't stand near me. I might die. Suffering worm bile. Alright, no, we got it off. I don't think there'll be anything to kill. Probably. I kind of want to do this, you know. I almost feel like this is a more entertaining way to play, because then I don't have to pop the big map. Another worm. Yeah, worm bile's crazy. It'd be cool if you could cast it yourself. There was that little moment in Eye of the North where, you know, the Mesmer patch came in. One of the Mesmer elite skills got changed in later years to be interrupt a skill. Now you can cast the skill. It never used to be that, but it got a patch post Eye of the North that made it a thing. And for a very little while, you could use it to steal monster abilities. So you could, the crates in Guild Wars 1 are Transformers. They like have one version and then they cast a spell and then they turn into another version and they cast a spell and they turn into another. So you could interrupt their transform ability. Oh, it's a snowball. It's kind of nice knowing we have a bunch of humans that will actually step around that much as minions. I think I've gone a slight wrong way here. I think we want to be down there. That's the ramp. That's the north vista up there, I think. Oh, Whiteout. This is the big Ellie that we looked at earlier. The bounty was on his head earlier. They're talking about possums. Brilliant. Yeah, I don't think we quite want it to be up here. Man, this is crazy. What? I can't even climb down? Alright, well there you go. That's how you kill Whiteout. There you go. I can path now. I'm on click to move. I forget what I was saying. WP is in the LP on Holt is speaking. Yeah, I'm not making any episodes at the moment, but I will get back to it. You realised RuneScape wasn't really a game. World of Warcraft had fees. Guild Wars 1 was the best option. That was kind of the situation for me. But it's not that I fell out of love with RuneScape. I still love RuneScape, even to this day, for what it is. I think RuneScape has some really, really powerful things in it that I still lust for, even in other games. Particularly, I think questing and environment interaction in RuneScape is very good. I also think that the skill system and the way they present grind in that game is very, very thrilling. I think exploration is really thrilling in that game too. Like that feeling of being a free member that finally got a membership and could go through gates I'd been looking at for hundreds of hours before, and now finally I could pass through. That was all very, very thrilling. I think nowadays people portray their own sense of mystery and exploration by just YouTubing what stuff looks like or watching streamers and things. But I still think RuneScape's good for that. Here you go. So look, we got this slope here. And there's bone fiends. And it's like, why are there bone fiends? This is weird. He's immune to bleeding. So my jagged strike isn't that good. But okay, so we kill a couple of fiends. And then at the top, there's a ton of bodies. And a ton more fiends. And flashing blades is going to be really good here. And there's a necromancer. A dwarf. Oh no, it's a Norn. Avar the Fallen. So they might do a reference here. This is a big specific area. Yeah, they should do something here. If this Vista returns. I really hope we get to go this far north. But will we get the Hall of Monuments and this far north in one map? I don't know. That might sound crazy because you guys have just seen me take like an hour and 40 minutes to get from point A to point B. But in Guild Wars 2, the territory you cover is so vast that they could totally do it. I don't know. But there you go. All right. The far north. That's it. The land beyond. Beneath the cloud cover. Only your imagination can tell you what is beyond there. That is it. This is the big vista. This is the distant. You got the two banners straddling it. The Coden live out there. An Elder Dragon will wreak havoc out there. You'd have to like look at the Diamond Priory map floor to get any hints at what the terrain's like out there. The Tyrian Arctic. What mysteries lie in waiting. You never considered how access to things like YouTube spoil the on-the-wall experience? Yeah, I think it's a big thing about games going forwards. Basically, the internet broke games in a lot of ways. There's a lot of design that you used to be able to get away with, like design of obscurity, that just kind of doesn't work anymore. So what it means is I think really good games now have to have really good gameplay. Because I think magic and obscurity and mystery and like cheating and shit like that, cheat codes, stuff like that, I think just there's no place for it in the world of the internet and now the world of videos and streams and stuff like that. I think it's very, very hard to pull off. So you might actually say that's a good thing because it's like, well, fuck. Make really compelling gameplay or a really addicting gameplay at the very least. Like, there's probably, like, I play into this as well. Like, this is a bit arrogant for me to say, but I think it's probably true, so I'll go for it. There's probably a lot of people that don't raid in Guild Wars 2 because they'll just go watch my lore video. And you get the experience, right? Or they'll just watch, you know, they'll tune into Rocker in the evening or something. They'll be like, all right, I'll watch a raid there. That's it, and they won't do it because a lot of the magic of it, the idea of exploration, the thrill of story untold so far, and that, you know, it's bypassed. You don't have to know the game anymore for a lot of it because they'll get that experience the once, and then there you go, you're done with it. Yeah, Jules, I was thinking of Dark Souls too, but that's what made me say about the gameplay thing, because the thing is, Dark Souls complements a lot of that. And that, you know, there's also very strong spoiler culture, which I think is probably quite interesting actually. That people are very, very, very flinchy and fearful of spoilers now, and they're much more hysterical about it than they ever were, I remember, before the internet is what it is now. I think that side of the world has grown with the internet and probably in direct reaction to it, you know, and information dissemination. So I think Dark Souls is something interesting to look at. In that, yeah, people try to preserve their own experience. And they pair it with good gameplay, that's the thing. Am I looking at other games from MMOs? No, I'm not the kind of person that sits there thinking, oh, it's going to be the next best thing. I'm cynical to any new MMO just because it's got such a huge amount of features and stuff to build before it can compete with, you know, contemporary stuff that have had so many years to keep rolling. I am playing WoW Classic at the moment, though. So look, there's a little happy reindeer. Lovely. Hee hee hee. We get some polar bears. I'm hoping to just run past. That all looks a bit ugly, to be honest. That looks a bit PlayStation 1, that wall. And so, okay, so there's a little Norn settlement down here. We're going to have to kill these Mandragore, for sure. I might have put a lot of pressure on us with my movement here. What is it that's debuffing my energy against these guys? It's not Fevered Dreams. It's not Ulcerous Lungs. I don't know what it is. My energy just seems to be suffering against these guys for some reason. It's not being dazed. I played a caster so long and so purely in Guild Wars 1 for so many years that it took me a long time to realize that daze is not as OP as I thought it was. You know, that warriors and rangers and paragons and assassins and dervishes, they don't really give a fuck about days. They'll just keep going. But you play a caster, and it's literally like, okay, days is like this just insane thing. Oh, look, a spirit of toxicity. If this exists in Guild Wars 2, people would be making all kinds of internet jokes about it. Wait, Ajules, are you joking? Ajules says, damn, I've never even approached this kind of discussion in my passion for game design, and it's given me some insights you hadn't had before the stream. Really? I think that's... this whole side, that side of the world, that is like a top contender for how games have changed. And will continue to change, I think. It's why you don't see, like, the classic Final Fantasy... The reason I've thought about it a lot is because of classic Final Fantasy. Like, stuff like that just doesn't work anymore. When it's arbitrary to get the information, the entire act of hiding a thing starts to feel arbitrary. So, like let's take, like, Vincent or Yuffie, like, huge characters with massive amounts of story and stuff for Final Fantasy VII, right? Totally missable. Totally missable. And most players, on their first time through those games, would miss those characters, right? But in a world where you're just, like, instantly Googling everything and finding everything out, it kind of, you look at it, it looks kind of shitty. It's like, what? I didn't go into this fucking forest, this random little forest, and happen to get a random encounter at this specific moment, and now I'm fucked, am I? What? I didn't answer these questions in this exact way. This is fucking bullshit. What are you talking about? Like, the magic and the meaning behind that magic is lost because, you know, it's undermined in a big way. So anyway, this is where, like, a big bit of the story happens. I'll leave it there. A lot of farming happened there. Keg farming. Do I really not have this bounty done? I keg farmed on this character, though, I think. Why have I not ever spoken to him? I'm messing this up. Alright, he's dead. I actually don't know anything interesting about Bureau Marches. Bloodwash's Blood obviously ended here with the town. What's cool about Bureau Marches, guys? What points of interest are there? There's caves down here. There's, like, lots of minotaurs running around. But yeah, like a Chartown thing here. That would be interesting. We're getting very close right now. Okay, so people watching my stream right now, I don't know how many of you were here about an hour and a half ago, but we were playing Guild Wars 2 an hour and a half ago. And the newest patch in Guild Wars 2, we're nearing right now. We're near the area of the newest patch. The newest patch took place, like, here. Actually inaccessible. But, like, Long Eyes Ledge and stuff. Like, this is Grothmar, okay? This is where the keep was. We're very close. You guys should check out that Shaman's Historical Guide to Tyria to find the exacts. Nothing. Bureau Marches is the D students of Eye of the North modules. Yeah, I don't really remember much about this place. I don't think the devs did much interesting. There's not, like, a cool transition to a verdant area. There's no outpost connecting to it. Well, I guess Long Eyes Ledge. I guess Long Eyes Ledge is kind of both, but, you know. Where will the packed base be in the next map? That's a good question. I would guess maybe they reinforce this old Char homestead, maybe? That we go bombing in as the Norn. The Bear Altar. By the way, blind. We're just sitting here constantly blind. Ogden is trying really hard to keep me cleansed. Which dungeon was it that starts from here? There's no dungeon here either. Or is my character just never been here? Been to the dungeon. What dungeon came out of this map? Was it down here or up here? Yeah, blind is crazy in Guild Wars 1. If you guys don't know, blind is 90% chance to miss while blind. So blind is basically, if you are reliant on physical strikes, you do 0 damage. That's basically what blind is in Guild Wars 1. They give you a 10% chance to maybe land a hit, but to be honest, attack rate isn't so high that you get, you know, it's not like Guild Wars 2 where you drop a billion Dragon Hunter traps and 3 symbols, and then you sit there sword autoing, and you know, or using your greatsword 2 or whatever, and maybe, you know, some of those are getting through. In Guild Wars 1, it's much more animation for animation, and it tends to be a bit slower. I'm using an increased attack speed on this build. And you can still see. And I'm using dual-wielding daggers. This is like the fastest attack rate you'll see in the game. And even I basically feel like I'm doing 0 damage if I get blinded. It's very rock, paper, scissors. It's very card game. It's very counters and, you know, shit like that. You know, you just got to think when you're blind, you've got to appreciate the fact that your backline characters, your casters, are, you know, doing very well because these enemies don't have tools to deal with them. They only have tools to deal with you. It's kind of a difficult thing to wrap your head around, though. And for you, as a person, it's just frustrating. It's one of the places where Guild Wars 2 is better, actually, I think. As far as generic PvE is concerned. So, like here, I'm being blinded and blocked permanently. It's just not going to happen. So, yeah, I guess there is a bit of a transition here. This doesn't feel so bad. So there you go, that's Long Eyes Ledge there. That is the Char Homelands right there. That's it, that's our Eye of the North tour. Maybe I'll go north up to the little Char base. I don't even know if you can enter it though, really. It's through there. You remember a big worm that pops up on this map? Long Eyes landslide. Yeah, there was a landslide here, right? Oh, I never mentioned that on my stream earlier, that's a shame. The area we go to in the strike mission is south. It's like behind that cliff. The strike mission is below that cliff. It's like in there. It's down there. The strike mission, I think, is actually... It's like this. It's like this little section that you couldn't actually go to in Guild Wars 1. It's kind of totally new territory. There's a POI called Long Eyes Landslide. Yeah, if the landslide was there at Long Eyes Ledge. Makes sense. Here you go. This is where the Char were hanging out. We actually have some allies up here. What are these allies? Oh, by the way, someone added fall back, didn't they? Whoever added fall back, you're a god. Given the group-wide increased movement speed. So yeah, there's Norn hanging out here, I guess. I think basically the Char had attacked this, wiped it out, and you helped them reclaim it in the story. It's all a little bit destroyed. So there you go. That's our little tour. This I'm doing in honor of Bill Freest, okay, who is not at ArenaNet anymore. It's very sad, very unfortunate. Where the hell is the Guild Wars 1 section of Guild Wars 1? So I'm now going to host you guys over to a big event where I think a dev is like having an interview, or will be having an interview or something like that. She's a very fun streamer. She actually has a face cam, so it's better than my stream. And I recommend you guys check it out. We're going to, like, blow up their viewership to a massive degree here. So please, you know, blow up their chat, make us look really impressive and cool, and make them happy that we're hosting. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks very much. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for the support, and I'll see you tomorrow. We streamed a lot today. So, yeah. Oh, not that. There, that one. All right, see you guys. All right, catch you guys later.